Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is June 16th, and we had a fun week of baseball full of amazing games, including an Oakland reverse boycott. Let's dive on in. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing on this fine Friday afternoon? I hope you guys had wonderful weekends and are ready for another weekend. It's been a little bit rainy weather these past few days for me, but I'm excited to jump into another weekend of baseball. Before that, we have to go over what was this week of baseball, and it was an exciting week. Going through some of these games, looking over them, watching some of the highlights, watching a couple of the games. A lot of fun baseball games were played, a lot of extra innings, a lot of walk-offs. So we got a good series recap to go over. Before that, if you're new, feel free to subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Like, comment, do whatever you feel is worth it. I appreciate it all. Let's dive on into our series recap. Leading us off, we've got a bird battle between the Blue Jays and the Oilers, and the Oilers started this series hot with 3 home runs for a total of 8 runs in 3 innings as Adam Frazier, Ryan O'Hearn, and a grand slam from Gunnar Henderson had the Birds rolling as they take the first game, beating the Jays 11-6. In the second game, the Blue Jays ride a nice start from Jose Barrios and a Springer dinger for the win as they take it 3-1 and even up the series. And in the third game, Danny Jansen hits his first game back from the IL, and he was impressive. He hit 2 home runs in the game for his 7th and 8th home runs on the year. But the home runs from Ali Rutschman and Austin Hayes would give Baltimore the game and the series as Oilers take it 4-2. Moving along, we've got the Rockies in Boston taking on the Red Sox, and the Rockies were down a run before tying it up in the 8th, which would send us to extras where the Rockies would get runs on a bases-loaded walk and a fielder's choice, and then hold Boston to only 1 run as the Rockies win the first game of the series, taking it 4-3. In Game 2, more of the same as the Rockies were up 4 runs, and the Red Sox would tie it up with the help of a Rafael Devers home run and send us to extras once again, where the Rockies would score 3 runs on a double from Grichuk and a sac fly, and Boston could only muster up 2 on a 2-run home run from Devers for his second of the game. But it wasn't enough as Colorado takes another one, beating the Red Sox 7-6. And in the final game, the Red Sox get a 5-run 7th inning to get ahead on the Rockies, which would lead them to the win, which helps them avoid the sweep against Colorado as the Red Sox take the final game but lose the series 6-3. The Braves and the Tigers, and the Braves were up 5-1 in the 8th inning after a Michael Harris home run, but the Tigers didn't quit, and with the help of a Spencer Torkelson home run, the Tigers were able to tie it up in the 9th and send it to extras, where it was again Spencer Torkelson with the walk-off single for the Tigers to have a wild come-from-behind win to start the series as the Tigers take it 6-5. In the second game, there was rain on Tuesday, which caused for a doubleheader, and it starts with another Spencer Torkelson home run, and it continued with the future Hall of Famer Miguel Cabrera hitting his first home run of the year off of Spencer Strider. He went back-to-back with Eric Haase, who hit a home run right after Cabrera, and despite the Tigers leading early, Ronald Acuna Jr. and Michael Harris, they homer for the Braves. They score 5 runs in the 4th, which would lead to a Braves win as they even the series 10-7. And in the final game, home runs from Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzie Albies had the Braves up, but 3 Tiger bombs from Andy Ibanez, Matt Vierling, and Jake Rogers tied this game up, but not for long, as then in the 6th inning, Eddie Rosario hits a home run to put the Braves back in front, and that's all they would need as the Braves win the game. They take the series, beating the Tigers 6-5. The Brewers and the Twins would play 2, and in Game 1, a Yelich 2-run shot would have the Brewers up, but the Twins would fight as Kyle Farmer hits a home run to put them within 2. Michael A. Taylor would then go deep to put the Twins within 1. And after tying the game on a base hit, Carlos Correa launched the 2-run walk-off home run as the Twins steal one from the Brewers, winning it 7-5. And in the second game, Brian Anderson and Luis Urias go back-to-back to give the Brewers the lead, but that is erased after Carlos Correa gets a 2-run triple to tie the game up, and then scored 2 more in the inning for a total of 4, which is all they would need as the Twins get the 2-game sweep versus the Brew Crew, taking it 4-2. The Reds and the Royals, after being down just over half of the game, the Reds tied it in the 6th inning and took the lead in the 9th, but Salvador Perez, he hits a home run to tie it back up and send us to extras, in which the Reds scored a run in the 10th inning and held the Royals in their half as Cincy takes the opener, winning it 5-4. In Game 2, all the runs in this one were scored in the first 3 innings. The Reds would ride a 5-run second inning for the whole game as the Royals came within 1 after a Bobby Witt Jr. 2-run home run in the 3rd. The Reds take another one with the same score, 5-4. And the final game, the Reds hit 4 home runs in the game, 3 of which were in the 5th inning as Spencer Steer, Stuart Fairchild, Matt McLean, and Jonathan India all go deep. The Reds, they sweep the Royals, beating them 7-4. The best team in baseball in the Rays, taking on the hottest team in baseball in Oakland. And pitching was a big part of the first game's recipe as the A's would score 4 runs in an inning with the bases clearing double from Shea Langelaris. Jose Siri would bring the Rays within 1 after a 3-run home run, but couldn't get that 4th as the A's win streak moves to 6 as they beat the best team in the Rays 4-3. In the second game, it's the reverse boycott night as the A's packed the stands with over 27,000 people, which smashed the average of games so far, which was around 7,500. And it was electric to hear the roar of the people in the Coliseum as the A's would keep the game close thanks to Hogan Harris and would eventually tie and take the lead as the A's continued to win their 7th straight victory as they take it 2-1. In the third game, J.J. Bleday hit a 3-run home run to give Oakland the lead and a hope for an 8th straight W, but the Rays would fight and score 5 straight runs to kill that dream as the A's win streak ends at 7 as they fall to Tampa, losing it 6-3. And in the final game, tied at 3, Luke Raley hits the go-ahead home run for Tampa in the 8th, which would result in a win as Tampa becomes the first team to 50 wins, and they split the 4-game series versus the A's 2 apiece, taking the final 4-3. The Angels and the Rangers would also play 4, and this series was much more exciting than some might have originally thought. In the first game, after the Rangers took an early lead, the Angels were playing catch-up and were able to tie the game after Shohei Ohtani hit his 19th home run of the year, which sent us to extras, and in the 12th inning, the Angels took the lead on what was Shohei's 20th home run of the year, as a 2-homer game from Ohtani led the Angels to the win as they take it 9-6. In the second game, home runs from Nathaniel Lau and Corey Seager had the Rangers up, but home runs from Hunter Renfroe and Zach Neto led the Angels to catch up and take the lead as they take another, Angels winning it 7-3. In the third game, Shohei Ohtani hits another home run, but this time it would not matter as Marcus Semien and Corey Seager went back-to-back for the Rangers, who would end up winning this one as they take the third game 6-3. And in the final game, Mickey Moniak and once again Shohei go deep for the Angels. Ohtani has one hell of a series, 4 home runs, and the Angels would end up winning the final. They take 3 of 4 from the division-leading Rangers as they take the last game 5-3. The Miami Marlins are in Seattle taking on the Mariners, and the Mariners open up the series swinging as Ty France, Eugenio Suarez, and Tom Murphy all go deep for the Mariners as they cruise to an 8-1 win. In the second game, the Mariners continue to hit home runs as Cal Raleigh, he drives a 3-run home run in the second. And later on, Mike Ford hit not just one, but 2 home runs as the Mariners take another one, winning it 9-3. And in the final game, Jorge Soler hits his 20th home run of the year as the Marlins would be up 4-0. The Mariners would have the bases loaded in the ninth, and Eugenio Suarez sent the ball deep to right field, but Jesus Sanchez robs him of the game-tying grand slam and saves the game for the Marlins as they would win it and avoid the sweep, taking it 4-1. Nationals and Astros, a little rematch of the 2019 World Series. And in the first game, the Astros hit 4 solo shot home runs from Mauricio Dubon, Kyle Tucker, Martin Maldonado, and Chas McCormick, as that would lead Houston to the game as they win it 6-1. In the second game, Jose Abreu and Yainer Diaz go deep for the Stros to get them up, but the Nats rally late and score 3 runs in the top of the ninth to tie the game. However, the Astros would win it on an error that had manager Davey Martinez heated, as he thought Myers was off the line running to first base, which caused the error throw, allowing Houston to score and walk it off as they win the game 5-4. And in the final game, a pitcher's duel between Mackenzie Gore and Christian Javier had this game tied at 0 until the ninth, when Keibert Ruiz homered, but the Astros answered in their half of the ninth with a Yainer Diaz single to send us to extras, where the Nationals would score 3 runs and hold Houston as the Nationals take the last game to avoid the sweep, winning it 4-1. The Yankees and the Mets would play 2 for the Subway Series, and it kicks off with Giancarlo Stanton and Brandon Nimmo trading home runs in the first inning. The Mets would get the lead, but the Yankees would take it away by scoring 5 runs in the fourth inning with the help of a DJ LeMahieu home run. The Mets would tie it shortly after, but a Donaldson sac fly would put the Yankees back out front, and the bullpen would hold the Mets as the Yankees take it, winning it 7-6. And in the second game, IKF, he gets to steal home, which gave the Yankees an insurance run in the 7th, but it wouldn't matter because the Mets would score 2 in the 7th and tie up the game, which would send us to extras, where the hero Brandon Nimmo would get the walk-off double as the Mets split the 2-game Subway Series with the Yankees as they win it 4-3. Pirates and Cubs, Jack Sowinski would homer twice in the game for his 14th and 15th home runs of the year, but the Cubs were in charge of the game with big home runs from Ian Happ and Christopher Morel. The Cubs led for all but one half of the inning as they take the opener, winning it 11-3. In the second game, 3 Pirate veterans go deep as Andrew McCutcheon, Carlos Santana, and Austin Hedges all go yard, but the Cubs would fight back and score 6 runs in the 6th inning. It would add from there as the Cubs take another game, winning it 10-6. And in the final, the Cubs continue to roll with another good start from Stroman, a 5-run 5th inning, and the return of Cody Bellinger from the IL. That's just a recipe for another win as the Cubs sweep the Pirates, winning it 7-2. Giants and Cardinals, and a couple of Pauls would get the Cardinals the lead as Paul DeJong and Paul Goldschmidt both hit home runs that would have the Cardinals up, but the Giants would find a way to tie it up and then take the lead in the 8th on a Brandon Crawford single, which would result in a Giants win as they take the opener, winning it 4-3. In the second game, Mike Yastrzemski and Patrick Bailey homer for the Giants as they went on to score 11 runs on 17 hits in the game. Benches would clear at one point after some words were exchanged, but cooler heads prevailed. The Giants win another 11-3. And in the final game, a Tommy Edman grand slam would have the Cardinals up for most of the game. But down by 2 with 2 outs in the 9th, Mike Yastrzemski hit the game-tying 2-run home run to send us to extras. in which the Giants would score 3 runs in the 10th and hold the Cardinals, as the Giants, who were down to their last out, come back and beat the Cardinals as they sweep them, winning it 8-5. Guardians and Padres. It's Gary's world and we are just all living in it. Gary Sanchez does it again, a 3-run home run in the first. Tatis would also homer for his 13th of the year. The Padres get the first game, winning it 6-3. In the second game, it's 4 Padres solo shots from Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Juan Soto, and Nelson Cruz. A great performance from Michael Wacha blanks the Guardians as the Padres win it 5-0. And in the final game, the Guardians rookie David Fry hit a 3-run home run for his first home run ever in the major leagues. That resulted in a 5-run first inning for the Guardians. The Padres would try and keep things close to come back with a home run from Manny Machado, but it wasn't enough as the Guardians take the final game and avoid the sweep, winning it 8-6. The Phillies and the Diamondbacks would play 4, and it starts with a fun one in Arizona. Sparks would fly after Corbin Carroll was hit with 2 pitches in the game, causing a bench clearing. JT Realmuto hit for the cycle, making him the 3rd player this year to do so. But even with that, the Diamondbacks stayed ahead with the help of an Evan Longoria 3-run home run, as the Diamondbacks take the opener, winning it 9-8. In the second game, Kyle Schwarber and Bryson Stott go deep for the Phillies, but it was more about what they did on the field as the Phillies turned it on, scoring 15 runs on 20 hits as they take the game to even the series up as they win 15-3. In the third game, JT Realmuto, he hits a solo shot to put the Phillies up by 3 as they led for most of the game up until the 8th when Christian Walker hit a game-tying 3-run home run for the Diamondbacks and sent it to extras where Nicholas Castellanos would get a sac fly to put the Phillies up, and Jose Alvarado would shut the door and wouldn't allow the D-backs to answer as the Phillies hold on to win it 4-3. And in the final game, Bryson Stott home runs. He hits a home run early to give the Philly the lead until Ketel Marte launched a 3-run home run to turn things around. But that didn't last long as Kyle Schwarber doubled to tie things up, and then Bryce Harper's single would give the Phillies the lead, which results in their 3rd straight win as the Phillies lose the first but then take 3 of 4 against the Diamondbacks, winning the last game 5-4. Finally, here we've got the White Sox in LA taking on the Dodgers, and the Dodgers in the first game would ride after a 2-run home run inning in the first, as Will Smith and David Peralta both hit 2-run home runs in the inning, as they take the first game, beating the Sox 5-1. In the second game, Jake Berger would have 2 home runs and Luis Robert Jr. would have 1, as that would lift the White Sox to score 6 runs in the last 2 innings. That would beat LA 8-4. And in the final game, the White Sox go back-to-back twice, first being Luis Robert Jr. and Eloy Jimenez, and after it's Jake Berger and Andrew Vaughn. Chris Taylor would hit a game-tying grand slam for the Dodgers, and we would stay tied until extras. And in the 11th inning, it was Freddie Freeman with the single to score the run and walk it off as the White Sox lose 2 of 3. The Dodgers take 2 of 3. They beat the White Sox in the final, winning it 5-4. Plenty of great games. We had 2 bench clearings, an angry manager, a couple of walk-offs, a lot of extra innings. It was pretty impossible for me to pick a game of the week. There was plenty of great candidates. But instead of doing a game of the week, let's just dive into our baseball news. And the game that I can talk about is the Oakland A's reverse boycott. Now, that was a spectacular game. I just had to put it on while I was at home. And I'll tell you right now, if you missed it or you didn't see much of it, the crowd was electric. It felt like a playoff game. That's how exciting it was to be in Oakland that day. They had made sell t-shirts that they handed out at the beginning of the game. At points, you could just hear the crowd chanting whatever they wanted to chant, whether it was good or bad, cheering for their team. Hogan Harris got the start, and he made the most of it. There's videos of him, having a hard time hearing the pitch comm because it was so loud. It was just, 27,000 plus fans. And it was pretty crazy to think that, a stadium like that could get filled up like that. The next night, it went back down to like 4,000. It was definitely interesting. We had a couple quotes from Rob Manfred, from some of the other people in the situation here. Rob Manfred, he's basically saying that the A's are, they're just not going to happen. It just won't. The relocation is going to happen. Rob Manfred, he said it feels for them. It's not like he likes the outcome or anything. It's just baseball. Some of the things that he said had Julie Edwards, the spokesperson from the Oakland mayor. They were saying that there was an offer for the stadium. So Rob Manfred said that Oakland didn't make an offer for the Athletics to get a stadium. The mayor then said that, nope, that's false. We did. It's just not what they're looking for. They believe that the A's belong in Oakland. It was a whole back and forth, but then afterwards, the Nevada governor named Joe Lombardo, he makes it official. The Oakland A's are moving to Las Vegas. MLB owners are expected to unanimously approve the relocation within the next few weeks. This is the first MLB franchise to relocate since the Montreal Expos moved to Washington, D.C. That was a tweet from Bob Nightingale. So yes, it is pretty much a done deal that this will be the last year of the Oakland Athletics, or at least the Oakland Athletics are coming to an end. We don't know if it will be the Las Vegas Athletics or if they're going to change the Athletics Part 2. But it was a tough week for Oakland to have such a great turnout one game, to then find out that Las Vegas is now pretty much 100% going to happen. So, that's the big news, I guess, of the week. Moving along, we had a walk-off, the Astros beating the Nationals, and Davey Martinez was not happy, arguing that the runner was out of the baseline, causing the error throw from the catcher, Gabe Ruiz, which caused Houston to walk off the game. Afterwards, in his press conference, Davey Martinez, I don't know if it was him or it was probably someone in the dugout afterwards, printed out the photo of Myers running to first base and holding it up, saying that it's absolute BS and it has to stop. This call has happened to him before during the 2019 World Series. Dave Martinez was extremely livid. He was extremely vocal about this, and he believes that things have to change. You can make the argument for yourself. The photo, is he exactly on the base path? No, but is he far enough that he's impeding the throw to first? I don't really know. It's really tough to say. Obviously, Martinez thinks so, but it's definitely tricky. Maybe take a look for the photo for yourself, but it was it's one of those things where it's just, unlucky baseball, but Martinez was absolutely livid at the umpires after the game. It's an unreviewable play, so they can't put on the headsets to check it with New York. But Martinez was not happy, had a photo afterwards, which was the funny part, kind of the bigger news about this all. But Dave Martinez, not a happy camper. We had a couple of major injuries come out. Ryan Helsley from your St. Louis Cardinals, he ends up on the 15-day IL with a forearm strain. And then these other two are out for the season. Lance McCullers Jr. for the Houston Astros, he's out for the year. He had surgery on his right forearm, and he's done for the season. And for the Royals, one of their best hitters, Vinny Pasquantino, he tore his labrum in his right shoulder. He's done for the year. That's a blow to the Royals, who were going to be bad. But Vinny Pasquantino, he's been good. He's been fun. And it's unfortunate that he's done for the year. The last part of baseball news here, Drew Smith, a relief pitcher for the Mets. He was ejected during a substance check. He was not happy, nor were any of the Mets. In an interview after the game, he said that he ran into an MLB official and pretty much forced him to feel his hands. And as he quoted, the MLB official laughed and said, "Yeah, that's not sticky." Drew Smith obviously received a 10-day suspension. So yeah, just another Mets pitcher. We knew about Scherzer earlier in the year. Now it's Drew Smith. We haven't seen too many of these since it started a couple years ago, but this year the Mets have dealt with now 2, and they're pretty upset about it. They're not happy about it, but yeah, Drew Smith, he's on a 10-day suspension for the substance check ejection, and that is our baseball news for this week. Now it's time to dive into our hot and colds for the week. Starting off with the hots, and if you were listening to the series recap, you would know that Shohei Ohtani is on fire. 14 for 25, 6 home runs, 12 RBIs, 9 runs, 7 walks. That's an average of 560 and an OPS of almost 2. It's 1.996. So yeah, Ohtani has been good. Fernando Tatis Jr. and the Padres have been good. 10 for 21, 4 doubles, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, 8 runs, 8 walks, 4 stolen bases, an OPS of 1.716. Corbin Carroll, he's on the list. 9 for 25, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 8 runs, an OPS of 1.389. Gunnar Henderson with Baltimore, 12 for 26, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, 5 runs, an OPS of 1.308. And lastly, Corey Seager, 11 for 28, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 6 runs, 5 walks, good for an OPS of 1.271. Moving on to the colds, we're starting with Nolan Gorman, who is 2 for 20 with 12 Ks. Joey Weimer with the Brewers, 0 for 16, 11 Ks. I think it's Weimer, actually. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. JD Martinez with the Dodgers, 3 for 19, 11 Ks. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., after having a really solid month, he had a tough week, 1 for 21 and 8 strikeouts. And then Brandon Marsh, he had more hits than some other guys, but his strikeouts were horrendous. He was 5 for 24 with 14 Ks. That means he struck out more than half the time. Those are your hot and colds for the week. Now it is time for our outstanding performances, and we are going to start with Hogan Harris of the Athletics. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 2 strikeouts. That was for the Boycott game. Strong stuff against Tampa. George Kirby, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 10 strikeouts. Kyle Bradish, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, only 1 strikeout. Jose Barrios, 7 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. Justin Verlander had a good start against the Yankees. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 6 Ks. Garrett Cole, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 8 Ks. Framber Valdez with the Astros, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 6 Ks. Reed Detmeyers, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 8 Ks. Yuri Perez, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 Ks. Michael Wacha, 6 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. And lastly, Ranger Suarez, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And now a look at our stats leaderboard. Luis Arias still leads in average, but he had a huge drop from his 403. He's down to 378. Bo Bichette still leading in hits with 95. For home runs, Alonso, he's going to be out for about 2 to 3 weeks, but Ohtani has tied him. Both of them are tied with 22 home runs. Ohtani or someone else should take over from Alonso shortly. RBIs, Rafael Devers, new leader with 56. Ronald Acuna Jr. is back to leading runs. He has 60 runs scored on the year. Juan Soto still leading in walks with a huge lead, 61 walks. Esteury Ruiz still in stolen bases at 33. We've got a new OPS leader, Shohei Ohtani, 1.002 for Ohtani. He now leads in OPS. Shane McClanahan still leading it in wins with 10. We have a new ERA leader in Eduardo Rodriguez with 2.13 for Erod in ERA. Strider leading it in Ks at 127. And Class A, he earns himself a save, bringing his total up to 21. He still leads in that category there. And now, a look at the upcoming series for this weekend. We're back to the rivalry as the Yankees are in Boston taking on the Red Sox. The Tigers are in Minnesota taking on the Twins. Angels and Royals face off. The White Sox and the Mariners. Blue Jays in Texas taking on the Rangers. The Reds are taking on the Astros. The Phillies are taking on the A's. Marlins at Nationals, Rockies at Braves, Cardinals at Mets, two teams where they are not where they want to be. They'll face off there. Pirates at Brewers. The Brewers have been on a cold streak as of late. Oilers at Cubs. The Cubs have been pretty hot. Rays at Padres. That's an exciting series. Two teams, one very good, one should be good. Guardians at Diamondbacks, and lastly, the Giants at the Dodgers. First time those two teams meet this year. That is our upcoming series for the weekend. And now lastly today, we have our playoff predictor. The wheel has been spun, and we have another playoffs if it started today, starting with the 6-seed Yankees taking on the 3-seed Twins, and the Twins would beat the Yankees in the wildcard series there. 5-seeded Astros taking on the 4-seeded Oilers, and it is the Astros who beat them, and we'll move on. Twins at Rays for the ALDS, and the Rays move on. Astros at Rangers. That's a fun one. The Rangers beat the division, but the Astros beat them in the division series as they move on and would face the Rays in the championship series, only to lose again to Tampa as the Rays are headed to another World Series. On the flip side, the 6-seeded Giants. Yes, you heard me. The Giants, the first time they've been in one of these. They're going up against the 3-seeded Pirates, and they win. The Giants, their first time, they make it past the wild card series. The Marlins in the 5-seed against the Dodgers in the 4-seed. The Dodgers beat them and head to the division series. The Giants will take on the Braves and lose as the Braves move on. And the Dodgers at the Diamondbacks, kind of the same thing with the Astros and Rangers. And again, it's the team you'd expect. The Dodgers beat the Diamondbacks. They head to the championship series. We've seen this matchup before in plenty of the last postseasons. Dodgers at Braves in the championship series. And it is the Braves who beat the Dodgers. And that means we have the two first-seeded teams, the Braves at the Rays for the World Series. And the champions this week are the Tampa Bay Rays. They beat the Braves, and the Rays are your 2023 champions. That is a playoff predictor. And that will do it for our episode today. Thank you guys so much for listening. As I said at the start, it helps me out a lot if you like the content to subscribe, follow the podcast. Helps me out. Appreciate it very much. Enjoy your weekends, and I will see you guys another episode on Monday.